Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And the Detroit Lions and quarterback Matthew Stafford have mutually agreed to part ways after this season, after spending his entire career there, after being selected #1 overall in the 2009 NFL Draft. One possible team that could be a suitor for Matthew Stafford's services is my Chicago Bears. But before I get into why and get into detail of how and if that can happen, be sure you guys leave a like on this video so we can help beat the YouTube algorithm. And if you are not subscribed, and if you love football content and you want consistent football content, this is the place to be. So click that subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you will not miss a single video that I post. But let's dive into this topic. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Matthew Stafford, throughout the course of his career, has been the absolute bright spot on the Lions team that has only made 3 playoff appearances during his tenure as a quarterback. That'll be in 2011, 2014, and 2016. Each time the Lions have failed to secure a victory in the playoffs. In Matthew Stafford's entire 12-year career with the Detroit Lions, in each season that Stafford has started all 16 games, he has thrown for at least over 3,500 yards, including a career-high 2011 where he threw for 5,038 yards. And he had a stretch from 2011 to 2017 where in each of those seasons he threw for at least 4,000 yards. And even this past 2020 season, he is coming off of a season where he threw for another 4,084 yards. Matthew Stafford's productivity is unquestioned. He's just, in my opinion, stuck on a really bad Lions team throughout the course of his career. And during his tenure as the Lions starting quarterback, the Lions have only seen 2 10-plus win seasons, coming in 2011 and also coming in 2014. The Lions team throughout Matthew Stafford's tenure, let's just face it, they have been mediocre to say the least. With the aforementioned only 2 10-plus winning seasons in his career, they have failed to put much of a defense around him for majority of his career. The Lions have not really had much of a running game throughout the course of Matthew Stafford's career. He has been the absolute bright spot, especially during his time where him and Megatron Calvin Johnson tore up the league and tore up defenses with their high passing attack offense. But all that has come to an end where the Lions are taking a new direction. They're going towards a rebuild, and they are going to start the 2021 season with the new quarterbacks for the first time since 2008. And one trade possibility that can be had for the Detroit Lions is a rival within their own division, the Chicago Bears. The Bears are in a position where they're quarterback needy. The Bears are in a position to get a quarterback to win right now. And the Bears are in a position where I think they're a quarterback and a few pieces away from really being true contenders in the NFC. The Bears are coming off of a bad offensive season where they finished below 25th for the second consecutive year, with quarterback play from Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles not really being up to the standard that they needed to really be a successful team in the NFC. And with the addition of Matthew Stafford, it could be that boost that the Bears offense need to take themselves from bottom of the league to even just be average or above average to make themselves a real competitor and a real contender in the NFC. The Bears going into the 2021 NFL season are going to be in a win now mode, especially with the core defensive pieces that the Bears have are getting a little bit older. Guys like Khalil Mack is getting older. Robert Quinn is getting any younger. Akiem Hicks isn't getting any younger. Danny Trevathan also starting to age. You still have some prime guys like Eddie Jackson, Eddie Goldman up front, but the main pieces of your core are starting to age a little bit, and the Bears are in a position to win now, especially with 1-year leases on Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, because if the Bears do not succeed within the course of this 2021 season, there are going to be major changes in the front office and within the coaching staff, and I think there are going to be major changes within the Bears roster if they do not win in 2021. Bringing in Matthew Stafford to the Chicago Bears is going to be a little bit tricky if he has to be due to a trade, depending on if the Detroit Lions are actually willing to trade Matthew Stafford within the division. Now, that is a question that remains to be answered throughout the course of this offseason, but I really think the Bears are in a position to get a guy like Stafford because, number one, they are in a win now mode, and Matthew Stafford absolutely fits that timeline into a win now mode because he's already proven he's been in the league for 12 years and he's been productive. He's coming off an age 32 season where he threw for over 4,000 yards on a really bad Lions team. So I really feel that coming into this team, that will improve the Bears dramatically. Now, of course, the Bears, I think, will have to address the offensive line and will have to address the needs at the wide receiver position depending on what happens with Allen Robinson this offseason. And Anthony Miller really tended to struggle in the 2020 season. Darnell Mooney was an absolute boost at the wide receiver position, but you pair Matthew Stafford with David Montgomery, and the things that he was able to do in the running game can really be successful in this offense. And you have a base salary of Matthew Stafford at $9.5 million. So I think getting him versus the big rumor that has been thrown around and the Bears getting Deshaun Watson, I think that will prove just a little bit less costly as far as assets and pieces that you will really have to give up to get the services of Matthew Stafford compared to a Deshaun Watson who's been thrown around a lot. He has a $10.5 million base salary going into 2021, but beyond that, he's going to have a $35 million cap hit in 2022, a $20 million cap hit in 2023, a $32 million cap hit both in 2024 and 2025. So I think getting Matthew Stafford fits the timeline. Deshaun Watson will be an absolute great fit. I would personally, as a diehard Bear fan, love to get Deshaun Watson in the Bear uniform. But if the plans for the Bears are to win right now, will Deshaun Watson be willing to come to a team that, let's say if the Bears do not have a successful 2021 season, they're going to probably have to rebuild. They're probably going to have to scrap a lot of things. Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace are 9 times out of 10 going to be gone out the window. Then you still have looming large Deshaun Watson's salary over the next 4 seasons. Now, it will be a great addition for the Bears to have Deshaun Watson in the fold, but if 2021 is not the successful season that most of the Bears front office and fans are really banking on it to be, you're going to be stuck in Deshaun Watson's contract. And will Deshaun Watson be willing to stay in a similar situation that he's currently in with the Houston Texans versus you get a guy like Matthew Stafford, who's number one at a cheaper price. Number one, you're going to have to give up a whole lot less assets and pieces to acquire if you're going to have to get him through a trade. And even if the Lions do decide to release Matthew Stafford, you can still get Matthew Stafford on the market for a whole lot cheaper and probably a 1 to 2 year deal, just like you would if you would get him in a trade. So as much as I would love Deshaun Watson, I think getting Deshaun Watson for the Bears is going to be a little bit more trickier. You're going to have to give up a little bit more assets, especially if 2021 does not work out to plan. I really feel with Matthew Stafford as the Bears quarterback right now, that can boost their team from being bottom of the league offensively to being above average and really have this team push towards the success in the future. You have Sean Desai as the new defensive coordinator, a guy who studied under Vic Fangio, which I really think this defense schematically will be dramatically improved from what we've seen under Chuck Pagano, and it will cost you a whole lot less assets and cost you a whole lot less money if it does not truly work out. You have clause to escape that deal, and if the Bears are really going to take a quarterback in this 2021 draft, you can have Matthew Stafford there as that bridge quarterback to help that young quarterback develop, and it's not going to be too much pressure on that younger quarterback to start. And then down the line, you're still going to have that cap space to fill up other positions like the offensive line, which the Bears really need, and get some more weapons at the wide receiver position, and also probably shore up the safety position alongside Eddie Jackson. So I really feel Matthew Stafford will be a really good move for the Bears going forward into 2021. It might go different for the future, but you will have to give up a whole lot less assets to acquire him, and you cost yourselves a whole lot less money by acquiring Matthew Stafford versus acquiring Deshaun Watson. Now, in this video, I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson is not the better quarterback. We all know Deshaun Watson is the better quarterback for now and going forward. But when you have a one-year lease, especially on guys like Nagy and a guy like Ryan Pace, I think they're more desperate to win now. And getting Matthew Stafford fits that win now timeline. And it's going to cost you a whole lot less money if 2021 doesn't go as planned. So Matthew Stafford is going to be a really, really safe bet if Deshaun Watson trade does not work out, or the Bears feel is going to be extremely costly for them now and their future to acquire Deshaun Watson. But that is all I have for you guys today. Be sure to leave this video a like. Comment your thoughts down below. Do you agree that Matthew Stafford could be a really good fit in Chicago, or do you think the Bears should go in a different direction? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you have gotten to this point in the video and you are not subscribed, go ahead right now and click that subscribe button, and also click the notification bell so you will not miss a single video that I post. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe, have a great and excellent day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.